Let's talk Calgary for a moment. I think there was some thought that maybe Brunette, just with his ties, obviously with Uyghur and more importantly Huberdeau,
He was
could
on
make
the
sense.
list.
But if that's not the case, we also heard there was overtures made by Conroy to talk to Laviolette, but it was Laviolette might have some other things on the go.
Lance?
I do wonder, and you threw his name out months ago, if Mitch Love is looking more and more like the guy here.
I mean, I've kind of always thought Mitch Love was the guy, and then you heard Craig Conroy speak and lay out his thought process as to what he would like to see happen, and I'm like, yep, makes sense. Mitch Love, yep, And so you go through the list, and every part of the job description would seem to indicate that this would be Mitch Love's job, but they're going through the same kind of process that they did in order to land Craig Conroy, who was already internal. They're giving the other internal guys an opportunity. Ryan Huska, Kirk Muller, Gerard Gallant is expected to interview for the position. I think, that's been one of the questions that Craig Conroy has been asking is, do you want to be a Calgary Flame? That's the first, question that he's sort of asking his players as he goes through the process. That's what he wants to find out in terms of head coaching candidates as well. Do you want to be coaching the Calgary Flames?
In your mind, or because in all the years that you've covered the league and the executive and hockey people that you've talked to, is there a prerequisite list? And it's because nothing's ever 100% one way or the other. There's no exact way. But is there something that you feel like over the years you've seen that this is what you want to see from a coaching candidate before they get a head coaching job? Is it number of years? Is it success? Is it championships? Is there any kind of criteria that you feel like you've seen that's a successful coach and this is what it takes to succeed at that next level?
Well, I think you'd want to see a track record of success. You'd like to see championships at other levels. But for me, the biggest thing, and I think sometimes people get fooled with this as part of the interview process because some people are just schmoozers and they can talk. You got, to me, more than X's and O's, system, style of play, tempo, all those types of things, you have to be a good communicator. I truly believe that being an NHL head coach now is way more about being a psychologist than it is about being a tactician. Because you can have someone on your bench. How many times do we see timeouts late in games where it's not the head coach that's drawing up the plays? Doesn't really matter. That shit comes up every now and again, especially in game where you're making a tactical change. It's about feel. It's about getting the most out of your players. What makes them tick? Finding out what each guy, what you can do to press his button to get the most out of him. And some guys, that may be leaving alone. Some guys, it may be a constant daily communication. There's a feel to it. It's getting to know everyone personally, their family, all those things that go into it, that I think is what distinguishes a really good head coach from someone that can just come in and have average success and maybe catch lightning in a bottle, all those things. It's the difference between sustained success and just a factory. And I think, unfortunately, there's a bunch of guys that have had a lot of success in this league that are just on autopilot. Doesn't really matter. You could just put a different windbreaker on them, change the color of their tie, slap them from one team to another, and it's the same thing, wash, rinse, and repeat. Do the same damn thing at the rink every day, the same tricks, the same motivational plays and pulls, that you just end up being on the cycle where you're 2 years, 3 years and out. Disagree or agree, Rhett?
Well, sorry, go ahead, Rhett.
Oh, I agree. I think that's what's Keenan and the old school guys used to bully guys around into playing hard, and they could manipulate guys that way, and you could send them down and bring them back up. You can't do that anymore. I think that good coaches, when those guys were successful, I think they had great rooms or great assistant coaches. And those are the guys, the great rooms kind of eliminated the bullying for the players and made it fun for the team to play. Or the assistant coaches were the guys that were the buffer zone kind of thing, where they were the guys that were able to walk into the room after a coach snapped and give guys shit, and they were the ones to rally the group together. So I think there's always been some of that needed, but I think it's even more important right now.